So, apparently the demand for a third film was just too great to ignore. So, let's not waste any more time and dive into Carnosaur 3 Primal Species. So we begin with a bunch of soldiers pissing about. I see he too is an advocate of preemptive reactions. Yes. Anyway, the terrorists hijack the convoy and we get treated to meeting our unlovable bunch of heroes in the middle of a training exercise, or as they like to call it,
playing bad guys and hostages.
Hey look, they brought Rick Dean back from the last film. He made the last film bearable, so this is great news.
Sir, I mean, they can hear you from like a half a mile away, sir.
I take that back. The yes man from earlier goes to check on the uranium he thinks he has stolen, only to find some dinosaurs having a bit of a snooze. If I had a penny for every time that happened to me.
Brian!
Not a very secure transit, is it? They closed the doors and sent the dinos off to Dreamland. This makes Jurassic Park look secure. Colonel Stereotype here gets called into a briefing, and apparently his team is needed to recover the stolen convoy. You'd think a convoy of that level of importance would be guarded a little better.
We can't make out a word he's saying, but we figure probably what's freaking him out is over in that warehouse over there. That's where he's been pointing.
Yeah, it's probably drug smugglers. They love to use smaller ports like this. And as Bob found out, they're frickin' killers. Let's be extra careful. All right, men, let's go.
Stay calm. We'll be right back.
I need to go to my acting lessons. So let me get this straight. The dinosaurs woke up, killed the terrorist, climbed back into the truck, locked the doors, waited for the cops to arrive, jumped out and killed the cops, all by themselves? Looks like someone's been taking lessons from old Rexy. The stereotyping forces arrive, and looks like the dinosaurs got a little bored of truck loitering and left.
Who could have done something like this, sir?
Looks like a serial killer loose with an axe.
Well, I guess people barely bleed when they've been ripped to shreds.
Bodies just don't disappear into thin air, gentlemen. We're looking for a blood trail. Spread out.
Over here, sir.
What do you got, Coolidge?
Now hang on a moment. Did he just call her Coolidge? Coolidge? That's so cool. So they go and search the warehouse.
Freeze! 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 What do you got, Coolidge?
Looks like an alien's rip-off.
Are you sure?
Yes, the rip-offometer is reaching atrocious levels.
On 3. 1, 2.
Nice shooting, Tex. You just shot yourself a dead man.
Yeah, but I shot the shit out of him.
That might help.
It might.
Oh, shit! Get this thing off me!
Not to be pedantic, but you are in fact on top of the dead guy. Ugh.
Bullshit!
Yeah, hang it. Just kick my ass. Come over here and see this guy, man.
Coolidge! You will forever be in my heart.
Is that Ferguson? Ferguson, come on, Ferguson, talk to me. What's going on?
Yeah, screw Ferguson, he wasn't Coolidge.
like a lizard on steroids.
So they exit the warehouse and go see their superiors.
Carnosaurs? What the hell are you talking about?
Genetically reconstructed replicas of prehistoric dinosaurs.
Oh, they actually explained why the films are called Carnosaur? And only 3 films in?
It's imperative that we get them back right away.
You better call in a full strike force because your Carnosaurs are more adept at killing than anything I've ever encountered before.
Can't do it, Rance. The project's top secret. The Pentagon had never let me authorize use of a conventional ground force. Besides, we need them alive.
I see you're a fan of stern facial expressions too.
The Carnosaur project.
Ooh. Yeah. Please don't do that again.
The velociraptors have sharp reflexes and can move extremely fast.
3 films in and they're forcing a Carnosaur breathing down our throats? Cut a long story short, the dinosaurs are going to kill people and they need to bring one back alive. Because that always ends well.
Once more unto the bridge, dear friends.
Clear, go!
It's like watching a chase in Looney Tunes. I guess the raptor gave up. And more Chew Toys arrive! No. Okay. Moving on.
Who the hell are you guys?
We have orders from General Mercer to provide you with any backup that you may need.
It is essential that we capture a healthy specimen.
Ooh, another meeting! How utterly exciting.
The specimen? What about the safety of my men, huh? I refuse to deploy unarmed soldiers just because the doctor here is afraid of guns.
I'm not afraid of guns, Colonel. There are bigger issues at stake here.
I don't give a damn about your bigger issues.
Okay, as much as I love a good debate about ethics, let's cut to the chase.
Excuse me, sir, but I really don't think any one of these soldiers have been trained in hand-to-hand combat with a dinosaur.
That's true, it didn't end too well for this guy. See? A net. They want to trap a creature with razor-sharp claws in a net. I give up. You want to be eaten, don't you? Admit it! And of course, it all goes wrong in spectacular fashion.
Here you go. Ow. Ow. You okay?
Yeah. You ain't dragging me around anymore. You know why? You're dead. You shit.
Profound, Polchek. Very profound.
Watch the blood.
Anyway, they bring the raptor back in for an autopsy. And they discover it has a rapid healing ability. Let me take a guess at what happens next. The raptor stays dead and they go home and live happily ever after. Awkward.
There are nag transport called the Handle and I. All we gotta do is get them out to sea and be done with the same once and for all, sir.
Well, that's a sweet idea, Polchek, but who the hell's gonna captain the ship?
Rossi.
I'll do it, sir. I've been around ships all my life.
Oh, great. Sailboats, rowboats, kayaks?
My family's all Navy. I'm the first to join the Marines. I could handle it, sir.
How delightfully convenient. So they make a plan to freeze the Carnosaurs aboard a ship with a conveniently giant freezer.
Let's go, gentlemen. We set sail at 1200 hours.
Yeah.
We'll need a few more things before we go.
We? This is an extremely dangerous mission. There's no need for you to go along.
No one knows the Carnosaurus like I do, Colonel. You need me.
No offense, but your insight has been completely and utterly useless so far.
It's looking good. We're running high at the 40-foot water line. Plenty of fuel. You know, I bet you my grandpappy captained one of these things back in World War II.
Here. Try this out.
He also told me always to drive a ship with a cap on.
Drive a ship? Really? Drive a ship? You sail a ship. Sail. But enough of terminology. We have a Predator soundtrack to rip off.
Hal and I, you're clearly in port.
10-4. Time to rock and roll.
Any idea as to where they may be hiding out?
Well, now that we're underway, they might move toward the engine compartment. It would generate some radiant heat.
Okay, that would put them somewhere in the stern. The coolant tanks are on the sea deck, 2 levels above the engines.
Great, that means we get to go down into Barney Central and play in that sandbox. I've been waiting to play in that sandbox. I've always wanted to.
Sandboxes? It's... I got nothing.
Needed.
Indiana Jones travel joke. Hang on, this isn't how you do it, is it? Out at sea, they initiate their plans to freeze the dinosaur. And everything is going very well, but suddenly... a bunch of people die, but then someone humiliates a dinosaur.
Excuse me, sir, but I really don't think any one of these soldiers have been trained in hand-to-hand combat with a dinosaur.
Hell is it?
They stumble across some dinosaur eggs and once again demonstrate their extreme lack of intelligence.
Cool.
And piss Rexy off.
So, Doctor, you ready to join the pro-extinction party?
What do you propose?
Ooh, goody, new plan time.
Way I see it, we've only got one option. Blow the ship.
They plant the charges, get ambushed by raptors.
Oh, thank God!
Did she just say, thank God?
Oh, thank God!
She did? Her teammate died? And she says thank God? Well, if that's not something you can admire in a character, I don't know what is.
Come on, get up! Come on, move! Come on, go! Go!
What's this woman's intuition or scientific insight?
A little bit of both.
That's pretty cool for a low-budget movie.
Get back! Get in there! Get down! Hurry up! Hurry up! Down here! Down this way! Come on, move it!
Then we are met with the obvious explosive finale. And that's it. It's over. Done. Finished. Complete. Oh, except for the sequel bait. I mean, come on. Really? Sequel bait? It's not like the others needed an excuse to have a sequel, is it? So that was Carnosaur 3. And what can I say about it? It was bad. Definitely. It was definitely bad. But it was entertaining. In fact, all 3 Carnosaur films have been entertaining in parts. And in past films I have ripped into them and said what I hate most about them, but I've not said what I thought was genuinely good about them. So I'm going to make up for that and say it now. There are very few gory dinosaur movies out there, but the Carnosaur films are definitely 3 of them. And the blood effects are very well done. For the most part. Let us now move on to the acting. In the first film, it was mostly bad, but not all. Diane Ladd, who played Dr. Tiptree, did a very good job. She commanded the right level of mystery in her performance and kept me glued to the screen whenever she was on the screen. The other was Raphael Sbarge wasn't entirely terrible. Raphael Sbarge played Doc in the first film, and most of the time his performances were good. It was let down by shoddy writing, but when his performance was good, it was really good. And at its lowest, it was okay and bland. Oh, and the overacting. There was loads of overacting, which is a lot better than underacting. In the second film, I found that Ryan Thomas Johnson, the actor who played Jesse, was one of the stronger performances in the movie. And again, some things did feel forced, like his relationship, which grew throughout the movie with the Jack Reed character, but that's again down to writing and not the actor's ability. Ooh, and let us not forget Rick Dean, who played Monk in the second movie, and he was quite entertaining in that. Overacted a lot, but he was entertaining. In the third, he plays Polchek. He's just annoying. What was all this about donkeys? Yeah. The character Dr. Hodges, played by Janet Gunn, was just so boring. And just... you knew what was going to happen. I mean, at the first 3/4 of the movie, it was all, no, you must bring one back alive for me to study. And then, at the last quarter, as soon as she realises that her life is actually in danger, it's kill him. Oh my God! The biggest problem with Carnosaur 3 being a horror film, and not just 3, but the first 2 as well, is that they show the dinosaur way too early. If they'd show only parts of it, maybe its snout, claw, teeth, it would have built up suspense, and then they could have revealed the big dinosaur at the end. And I know it was only a cheap robotic model, or actually I don't even know if it was cheap, but still. It would have worked better. We would have had the awesome suspense throughout the movie, and then at the end, the big reveal. Then we have the problem of Carnosaur 2 and 3 ripping sound effects from Jurassic Park. The T-Rex and Velociraptor sound effects. And I know the first film didn't do it, but that might be because there wasn't a Jurassic Park to rip off then. However, I will give it the benefit of the doubt. But as for the second 2 films, it does drastically lower my opinion of it. Well, that about wraps up the 3 of them. I'm Mike Grayson, and I had some fun watching the Carnosaur films.